Welcome to Immedi Chats.
What's up, Craig?
Hello.
There's Craig.
Craig, we've been waiting on you. What's up, peoples?
I don't know how you're doing, but I was just over a cold, and now I have a cold again.
Mm-mm-mm.
And Craig, I'd sell you my soul if it meant I never had to cough again.
Unfortunately, I don't think Craig is in the soul buying business.
Come on, Craig.
And how you doing over there, Lyle? You've been sick, you as well, yeah?
I'm all right. I got sick last weekend. I went to a convention on Saturday, and I don't know if that's where I got sick, but Saturday night I started feeling bad, and Sunday I had like a cold type situation for a couple days.
Hmm.
And then I got through that, and now I got like a sinus infection type thing, which I was just telling you beforehand. For some reason, every time I have a cold, that happens to me, and I don't understand why, because I take care of my sinuses so diligently while I have a cold.
Have you ever used a Sinigator?
Is that the little like pot thing that you pour through your face?
Yeah, but the Sinigator is one that actually pushes the water. It's not just gravity. And some of
Right.
them even push on one nostril and suck out the other, all in one motion. The fancy ones.
That sounds like the movie we're gonna talk about, but
Have you
No, I
ever
If I'm
tried one of those?
being
No,
if I'm being real, that sounds made up. The Sinugator.
no, that's a legit thing.
I've never heard of anything
I hadn't
more
either.
made for TV than the
Introducing
Sinugator.
the Sinigator for 3 easy payments of $49.99. You too
Yeah.
could own. No, for real. Somebody told me about this years ago, and I never heard of it before. I'd heard of I think it's called a neti pot, that thing that you kind of filter water. You tilt your head and you filter the water through your nose, and it kind of supposed to backwash your sinuses and let it drain out the other side.
Yeah, that's the
That,
thing I know of.
yeah, that I didn't jump in on the neti pot, but I did buy one of those Sinigators where it just pushes on one side, because I struggle with sinus issues as well. You guys know I'm always fighting with something sinus related, but they said that if you clean your sinuses out on some frequency, it should help with that kind of stuff. But I can't use it because the second I use that sucker to push water on either side, it's like my ears fill up with water. You're like when you go swimming and your ears are full of water. And then it's like it takes forever to get that back out to normal. So I don't know what's connected or not connected back there in my sinuses, but I can't use that thing. It don't work. So I gave up on it.
Maybe you need a sinus surgery.
A sinusectomy, I would love that.
See, that sounds the same level of made up.
Yeah, because it was.
I know, but that's my point.
Maybe I do need sinus surgery. I don't know.
Why are you hating?
I'm not hating.
Okay.
I'm just giving a little friendly advice. Unsolicited, but that's what we do here.
That is what we do. Speaking of what we do, let's talk about what we have been up to
Sorry, guys.
since our
That's gonna
last
happen.
episode. Yeah, that's going to happen. I may try to cut out some of it, but also you may just have to deal with it, because if it's
This is real fucking life.
That's right.
I know we seem so super famous to you guys that, like, it's unbelievable that real things happen to us, but
Right.
it is so real.
So I'm going to go first because I don't have a whole lot to share, but I do have a couple of things I wanted to mention. So since our last recording, I have purchased a kitchen appliance that I'm currently in love with.
Oh my god.
And it is the Ninja Slushie. It's a pricey piece of equipment, but my company gave me a gift card for like working there for 10 years, and I decided to splurge and use it to buy the Ninja Slushie. And I'm so glad I did, because this thing, man, it is very good, and it'll slush up some liquids for you. It'll do slushies, it'll do milkshakes, it'll do frappes, it'll do margaritas and that type of stuff. So far, 10 out of 10 in my book. Anyway,
Interesting.
just want to mention that I bought that, and I will be bringing it to y'all house next time I come, so we could try some stuff.
Let me just ask this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Is it a splurge if it's a gift card? I feel like no.
Anytime you're
A
spending
gift card is
$300 on a
meant to
kitchen
be spent
appliance,
on yourself, on something you wouldn't buy yourself with cash.
I guess. My original intent was to use it to like pay for some truck maintenance or something, but I talked myself out of it.
Yeah. Who needs truck maintenance?
Yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about that. And the other thing I want to mention was since the last episode, I started playing old Super Nintendo games on an emulator on my computer. And I think because Lyle and them had started doing that, and so it was just in my head, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll pick it up and play something. And I started playing the old Mario games. I played like Super Mario World, and I ended up playing it all the way through. And I did that with all of the Mario games for Super Nintendo.
Games that you paid for digital copies of, right?
No, games that I owned back in the day and have a long since not had the cartridges for. But I just downloaded the games to play them on an emulator on
Okay,
my
never
computer.
mind. I was trying to help. Y'all can arrest him.
Get his ass.
Anyway, I played all those, and then I decided to, which did not take very long, to my surprise. And then I played Final Fantasy 2 or 4, whichever one you want to call it, 2 in the US. Because it's my all-time favorite Final Fantasy game. And I ended up, after about, I don't know, an hour playing it, I was like, you know what? I wonder if you could use like Game Genie cheats and stuff to beef up the characters real crazy and play the game that way. Because I've played it the legit way many times. And I found some. And so I used the emulator to put those cheat codes in and basically gives you all kind of experience after every battle and makes you invincible and all this kind of stuff. So it was super fun doing that and then getting all the upgrades early and zooming through all the boss fights. I don't know. I had fun. It was a fun playthrough. I hadn't done that before. Anyway, so I did that. And then other than that, just been working, staying home. I'll be
Doing
headed up.
some fast math over here.
Okay.
So for anyone, I'll wait till Aaron gets back in here so I can update.
She ditched us.
She went walking away coughing or something. I don't know. So for
Okay.
anyone curious, since we have definitely picked on Toby in the past about like suggesting movies or TV shows or stuff like that for him to check out, and he doesn't do that.
Doesn't always, does sometimes.
Based on
Bullshit.
how long to beat, which is a website where people log how long it takes them to beat games, and then it averages them out, and then you could go look and see if you're going to play a game, how long it might take you to play through it. To play through Final Fantasy IV, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and Super Mario World adds up to about 40 hours. So that's like several seasons of TV shows or movies that I just wanted to put those numbers out into the world.
First of
Toby's
all,
sharing this information with us.
Super Mario World has been beaten by me so many times I could fly through the game in pretty quick time. Final Fantasy 2 with those cheat codes, ain't no way that was anywhere near normal gameplay. I literally zoomed through the game. So keep all of that in mind. And then also like Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3. I played all these games. I knew the warps. I was able to bust through them. I didn't play through the whole game. So none of those are going to be near the actual playtime.
Okay, I know you said you did all the exits in the secret Star Road and stuff in Super Mario
On
World.
Super Mario World, I did, but again, I know
That's
all the
8
cheats.
hours.
It's so quick to do it. Like it's not. It really doesn't take that long once you start flying through.
If you say so.
Well, that's it for me. What about you guys? What's been going on?
Well,
mm,
so 2 weeks ago we recorded. So since then, the 3 of us had been playing a game together. We finished that game,
Mm-hmm.
called Trine. It is a, like, 3-player cooperative game. Did we talk about it on here before? I don't know if we did or
I
not.
don't think so. I don't think we
And
did.
it's made specifically for 3 people. There's a wizard, like a knight and a thief with a bow and arrow and a grappling hook, and they each have different abilities that help you get through the levels that have puzzles and enemies to fight and stuff like that, platforming to do. And we each picked our character and we played through the whole game over a few weeks. Took us what, 4 plays? Yeah, 4 plays, about 2 weeks, because we played twice in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat that, and now we're gonna pick out our next game we're gonna play, which we haven't done yet, because we're trying to get back to playing some games together as well as doing the podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, last weekend, Oliver and I went to a retro gaming convention in Gonzales, down
Mm-hmm.
south of Baton Rouge. And we got to hang out, and they had a bunch of people in costumes, cosplay, and I got to shop for some old video games that I was looking for, and Aaron wanted me to pick up for her. Ollie got some. He likes to go, but he really likes to get like toys and pins and Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So that's what he got. And they had a bunch of, this one they've been theming them based on like whatever is kind of like in the pop culture at the time the past couple years.
Hmm.
So a year ago it was Five Nights at Freddy's theme because that movie had just come out, and they had like some of the voice actors and the kids from the movie and stuff like that. And this one was Sonic themed because of the Sonic 3 movie's release. And they had the 3 original voice actors for Sonic, Shadow, and Knuckles from the video games, as well as like some artists that worked on the comics and the video games and stuff like that. And so we got to they also had Dr. Eggman, but I didn't actually see him. He was never at the table when we were up there. So I got to bring Ollie through the line. He got to meet the 3 voice actors, and they all chatted with him. We're all very nice. We took pictures with each of them, which was not cheap. And then we came home sick. And then this past weekend, uh and Oliver started some soccer lessons. I'll let Erin talk about that because she actually went. And then this past weekend, Aaron went and did something, but we've been just kind of sickly all week. So we've been having a bunch of stuff to do and not doing it because we've been napping or having headaches or whatever.
Yeah. How's
Oh
the
yeah.
kids? Everybody's feeling good? The kids are all good?
Yeah, I think so. They haven't really had any issues. Claire had a little bit of a runny nose, but that's like not unusual.
Yeah.
Also, in addition, 2 more things quickly from me. Oliver and I beat another game together on the stream. We
Hmm.
played Goof Troop for the Super Nintendo, which is a
Mm-hmm.
little 2-player game, with Goofy and Max. So we did that, and he had fun, and now we're gonna go back to the game we've been playing, but we took a break from. And also, the whole country just got to see the Kansas City Chiefs exposed as the frauds that they are, so good for them. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. What about you, Arian? What's been going on?
Well, what have I been up to?
Let
Um,
me count the ways.
Normal stuff, really.
Yeah.
Normal day to day. Claire has a birthday party coming up. Baby girl is about to be 2.
Oh my
So I've
gosh.
been ordering all that stuff and planning her party and making some things and um I have the next 2 weeks like meticulously planned out, because I gotta hit the marks on the planner every day, get
Mhm.
everything done. Um, this past weekend, I went to Grand Isle with my longest friend.
Yeah, how long is she?
I we said, what did I said oldest friend at first, and she was like, "Hey, hey, hey." And she said, "Maybe your longest friend." And I was like, "Yeah, in more ways than one."
She is
'Cause
quite
she's
tall.
6 foot tall. Um, but anyway, my friend Casey and I, she chartered a fishing trip with a guy in Grand Isle, and we went fishing yesterday morning. Um, and that was a lot of fun. I got to reel in a bull red, and let me just say, ooh, there was a video that she took some videos and some pictures of me doing that.
Oh, I wanna see that.
Like, she she that's what she wanted. Like, she wanted me to be able to do that. She's already done it before.
Mhm.
And so, um, this guy, like, does everything for you. The only thing you have to do is show up, and you can do as little or as much as you wanna do.
Mm.
Um, she had told me he would even cast for you, and I was like, "Well, that's part of the fun of it," but I ended up letting him because I wasn't familiar with his poles or the reels and how they work, and also I didn't wanna get caught up and lose anything, so I
Yeah.
just let him cast for me.
You wanna give him a shout out?
He's Captain John with Fantastic Charters and Grand Isle.
There
He's a
you go.
lot of fun, um, felt like I knew him for years.
Nice.
Of course, Casey's been with him, like, 4 times.
Mm.
So, anyway, once you find somebody you like, why switch it up?
Hmm.
Anyway, she was like, "Reel it in, Aaron, reel it in." She's got me on a video saying, "I'm trying." But
Nice.
anyway, my forearms are literally sore today, so that's
Mm.
funny. Um, but it was a cool experience. We had to throw that one back because of
Mm.
the regulations and stuff, you can only keep so many. Overall, we probably caught about 40 fish and had to throw back about 10 of them. So, brought home about, 30.
Nice.
And on those sheephead or sheep's head, however you say it, there's no regulations on those fish at all. You can catch as many as you want, and they can be as small or as big as you want.
Mm. They must be like the
So,
roaches of the ocean.
yeah. But, like, Casey called it the poor man's lobster, so I cooked some up last night. I just looked up a video on how to do it, and
Mm.
it was really good.
How you cooked it?
I followed a guy, he had put, like, Greek seasoning on it
Mm.
and,
Like you just baked it?
air fryer.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. But I thought it was good. What about you, Lyle?
Yeah, it was good to me.
Not a super fishy tasting fish.
That's exactly what I was about to ask. See, I'm picky when it comes to fish sometimes because some of them are just too fishy.
Yeah,
I had bought some flounder, like just some frozen flounder to try to work that into my diet. Supposed to be good for you, I guess. I just
yeah.
can't do it.
I'm not a fan of flounder.
I can't do it.
Now
Shame.
my mom will roll her eyes, I'm sure, but um,
We always saying Sherry's rolling her eyes.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Which
Um,
she really doesn't.
no, she doesn't. But she has probably heard this story 2,000 times. We went fishing when I was younger, and I think she just I don't think flounder was a fish that you normally picked up where we were fishing. I
Mhm.
don't even remember what we were fishing for, but most of the time we just fished for like catfish. Anyway, so she picked up a flounder, and back in the day, there was no Google to figure out how to cook it, so she just cooked it the best that she could. And I don't know if she didn't cook it right or we were just kids that were super picky, but that was the first time I think for me that me and my brother were at the table for like an hour and my dad came in there and he was like, "Y'all got 5 minutes to finish this fish." and if you're not done, you're punished."
Oh,
And I was like, "No problem, Dad." And I scarfed that down. I held my nose, and Eric got punished.
wow. So
Yeah.
it was a finish your meal before you can get up from the table kind of situation when you were younger.
I mean, it kind of the same situation that we have here. Like, if they fixed us too much, I mean, they were reasonable, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could be. But I never really was picky. My
Right.
brother was the picky one.
Okay.
But they tell a story about my brother, him being picky, and they were annoyed by that. So they fed him, I think it was baby food. They fed him green beans, and he threw up after
Oh,
he ate that.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I've never really been picky. There's a few things that I don't like, and, I stand by those,
Mm.
but I like to try new things, and anyway,
Lyle, let's name one food on the count of three that Aaron can't stand. Ready? One, two, three. Blue cheese.
Yeah, that
You
I
lose.
I that was too. I was not ready for that
You a snot.
game.
what else do I not like?
um, what else do you not like? Hazelnut creamer.
That's true.
Not a huge fan of chocolate, but she eats it.
Yeah. But, like, that doesn't give me any that's just, like, I don't crave chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll
I
eat
know.
chocolate.
It's a different category. We're talking about foods you just don't like to eat, period.
Yeah. Like, I just won't eat.
Honestly, nothing else is coming to my mind. I'm sure if I thought long and hard enough about it, I would.
Grapefruit,
Mm,
Oh,
oysters.
oh yeah, we talked about
grapefruit,
that
yeah.
before.
You're not a fan of any mollusks.
Well, we had those mussels at, um, that place downtown that were really good.
Yeah, I like mussels. I like. I'm not a big oyster person, although I did have them. What is it? Charbroiled with like the cheese and bacon and stuff on them once.
How
Well,
was that?
yeah. That's
That
like that's essentially like snails, like
right. That's
escargot. Like, you're not really
you mostly get butter.
yeah,
Mm.
That's
garlic
like
butter.
it's like being like, oh yeah, I really love chips, and the only time you ever eat chips is when they're full of salsa. Like it's
Oh,
just an edible spoon at this point. That's all that oyster was for me.
I'll eat an oyster fried, but that's about it. I won't
Mm,
really
I
do
I
it
mean,
any
I
other way.
I don't understand how people just shuck that and slurp it. Ugh.
I don't either. That's
Okay.
gross.
Anyway, what else did I do?
what else did
Any
you do?
I got brain fog extra
any
bad right now.
any cookies recently?
No,
Nope.
but I do have over the next 3 weeks, um, what is about a shit ton. So,
Oh, okay.
but that's okay. I'll get it done.
And we're leaving at the end of that third week, so
Yes, you guys.
Oh
I don't know if
yeah.
we mentioned this yet. We may have, but we're
I think in the
finally taking our kiddos to Disney, and we're
nice.
leaving on March 1st. Now, our Disney like reservation doesn't start till the 2nd, but I really want it to be like as easy a travel there as it can possibly be.
Y'all are
On the
stopping overnight somewhere?
Yeah, we'll just when we get tired,
Oh,
find a
find a
spot.
spot. Okay.
yeah, it's what? How far? Like 13 hours?
I don't know, but I'm thinking somewhere around 7, like wherever we end up for dinner time, probably just stop then and
It is about 12 hours,
Mm.
give or take, from us to Magic Kingdom. So, yeah, I mean, what's 6 hours get you?
also
Like
the issue that we now have is
barely
that
into Florida.
yeah, no, I would like to go further than halfway. The issue we have now is the kids are starting soccer and the games start on the 22nd, but we don't
Mm.
even have a schedule yet.
Mm.
But if the games are early enough in the morning on March 1st, we'll go to the games and then just leave from there. But if they're afternoon games, they're just going to end up missing 2 games.
Yeah.
it is what it is. We don't ever get to go on a vacation, and I'm not depriving my family of it for a soccer game.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be early. That would work out okay.
So we will do one more pod before you guys leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll be coming home on the Sunday, so probably planning recording on Monday the 10th that week, I would guess.
Right. The following episode. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll have a fresh vacation thing. Ready
Yeah.
to
Lots to
blast
talk
out.
about. Okay, Aaron, anything else you wanted to mention?
We have Oliver. Poor Ollie.
Oh, talk about his school stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, he has something every single night for the next 2 weeks at least.
Hmm.
During the week because I started him with a girl from the local high school soccer team. She's doing some private coaching for him. So he had his first session with her the other day, and you could tell she was nervous as well because it's her first session with someone. But they really were doing good after a while together. Like she was really teaching him, like focusing on where on the ball and where on the foot they should connect. And he kicked it into the goal one time. Like, I couldn't believe it was him and not her kicking it.
That's awesome.
So, I hope he can transfer some of that over to soccer because
Yeah.
he really needs to kinda step it up this year a little bit because his team he's finally on the same team and he's moving up a bracket. So, they're
Mm.
gonna be playing in the best bracket in their little division. I don't know
Okay.
if I used all that right, but anyway, school. They had a spelling bee where all the 3rd graders, all the 4th graders, all the 5th graders competed with one another within their class. Well, Oliver won his class spelling bee, and then this past Friday, he competed. I think I counted. There was what, 14 of them? I don't
It
remember.
said 16, but I don't remember. I
Um,
didn't actually count, so I'll go look at your picture.
well, they posted some pictures online. Anyway, um so the 3rd graders, the 4th graders, and the 5th graders all competed each other at his school, and he got 6th place, which is really cool because that means, like, he outsmarted at least probably one 5th grader and several 4th graders.
Right.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's awesome.
I honestly think it's kinda silly how they do it because why would you not go
So 14.
3rd grade, like your class,
Yeah.
then compete with the other 3rd graders at your school? Pick
Yes.
one and then compete with 3rd graders across
Yes.
the parish,
Correct.
and then the final spelling bee is a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th grader.
Right.
Like, why would you not do it like that?
Yeah. I guess they're not coordinating a spelling bee to that level.
But they are,
Oh, okay.
because this school one is going to a parish spelling bee, and then I think there's a state.
Right, but they're
Yeah, but
not
they'd have to get multiple schools together multiple times.
correct to do the individual grade competitions. And what I'm saying is they're
I
not
gotcha.
building it out that to that level because of I guess the time it would take. Maybe who knows?
And out of sheer happenstance, one of the kids that live in our street that they've been playing with out in the road in the afternoons. They live
Hmm.
a couple houses down from us. She's also in 3rd grade, and she also won her class and was in the little finals.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, he said she got 5th,
Mm, that's cool.
and then She he said that he asked her why she lost on the word she lost or something like that, and he said that she told him, "I knew the word, but I lost for you."
Stop it.
So
Oh my god.
they're getting close.
I can't.
I think they are more just friends, but
Mhm.
Oliver, would be the second neighbor that has had a little crush on Oliver.
I mean,
The other one's got a new boyfriend, so
oh, that's good news.
yeah. I
He is a
mean,
cute kid. I mean, I get it.
he
You don't have to
is.
fight him off.
He's a little too sassy for
Oh,
my
well.
liking, but
Yeah, I had to go outside.
I
and
hear
have
that gets better the older they get.
I
Oh,
hope.
we had to have a little come to Jesus meeting earlier, me and him.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
I looked out the window and I saw Lyle. You know how Lyle like pinches the air when he's mad?
Yes, yes. I do.
That's what
I
he
do
was
know that
doing.
move.
That's what he was doing.
Wow.
You know when he's explaining rules to a game or he disagrees with the mechanics of a game and he's arguing it with a fellow best friend?
Oh my god.
That that little pinching of the air, he
Pinching of the
gets
air is all you had to say. I visualized it.
he leaves like, I don't know, an eighth of an inch between his 2 fingers of air that he just can't quite put enough pressure against to squeeze all the way.
My God.
Tired of your,
I get that a lot.
tired of your shit.
You get the air pinching a lot.
I get the air pinch.
I mean, it's better than the back of the hand, I guess.
Yeah, it's not often I get that one, just that one time.
Y'all lying on me right now?
Okay, just real quick, I don't think we ever told this story. Lyle and I, when we were younger, we lived in the house his mom currently lives in. Because whenever he was going to school, she had that house for him. Just so happened it was her grandmother's house, and like she grew up down the street from the local university. Anyway, we have since moved from where we grew up to this place where she went to school. Yes, fun times at our house. Almost said our names. Anyway, um, at one point we were doing a lot of working out in the house. I guess it was after he proposed and we were like trying to get fit for the wedding. We did a round of P90X and he also got like a UFC, help me with the lingo here.
What?
Like the punching bag was you like
That, it's UFC branded. It's just 100-pound heavy bag.
okay,
And
yeah.
then we
But it
got,
was like a very good quality bag.
yeah, it still is. We still have it. And then we
Yeah.
got boxing gloves and hand wraps and everything, obviously, to hit it. And Aaron was like, we should get headgear and then we could like spar. And I'm like, okay, sure. So we got the headgear. Continue.
Yeah. I mean, I was like just to work out. So anyway, we got home with the headgear. And this was probably 3/4 of the way through P90X. So like we were both getting pretty fit and like it was now a habit at this point for us to work out nearly an hour every day at our house. Like we even turned our living room into like the puzzle piece like gym
Cushion.
floor.
The cushion floor.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, "Wow, punch me in the head." He was like, "No." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna put the mask on, the helmet on, punch me in the head." He's like, "No, I'm not punching you in the head." I'm like, "Just do it." So he did it, and he barely hit me.
With
And
my left hand.
yeah, and I woke
About
up
as
on the
soft as I
ground.
could.
Oh my
And
God.
down she went.
Yeah, I woke up on the ground.
She didn't wake up. She didn't get knocked out, but she went.
Yeah.
She's standing there. She's going, like psyching herself up. And I bopped her in the most padded part of the helmet I could hit. like I said, with my left hand, just a little light hook, and she went, and down she went onto the steps.
I mean, what
That
I'm
was good.
hearing is that P90X really was working.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you okay?" And she was like, my head hurts." So we, as you could predict, never actually sparred with the.
Yeah, like, he didn't knock me out to where I was, like, fully lay on the ground, but whatever happens whenever you lose a second, whatever that's called. But anyway, so we made the mistake of telling one of his coworkers that. So then, like, he used to say that Lyle would beat me, basically. And we were like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he would like literally send emails to the whole office about it.
Mm-mm.
Thankfully, everyone knew the story by that point, so it didn't actually matter. But yeah,
Anyway,
it was a whole thing for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's just really a funny story to us.
that is funny. Okay, anything else?
I watched so many movies this week, a whole trilogy of movies, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes, we will.
I can't wait.
Before we do, you guys want to play a little game?
Sure.
Okay.
How do we buzz in?
Get up and run to the other person's computer and slap them in the back of the head, and then get back to our microphone before they wake up.
I like it. Yep. And the first person to cough automatically loses.
Oh shit! Aaron, you want a cough drop?
Yeah, actually, I do. Wow, you just hit me in the head with that.
Good aim. So you do beat her.
only with cough drops and socks full of oranges.
And his fist.
Okay. So just yell out the answer if you know it.
Okay.
That's what we'll do. There's only 10 questions. So it won't take
Can you
us very
tell the
long.
difference between our voices?
I don't know. It would be tough. The game is I'm going to read you a quote from a popular Disney movie, and you're going to try to tell me what movie that quote is from. If no one knows what movie the quote is from, I will give you 3 choices, and then you will pick from those 3 the answer.
Dang. See, I'm better with quotes from like unpopular Disney movies.
There are some that are less popular in the list that you wouldn't maybe think of, but yeah,
He's just
yes,
trying
it
to
is a
come up
Disney
with
movie.
an excuse of why he's losing already.
Sure. I'm appeasing him.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you know it, just yell it out. And let me pull my spreadsheet over here because I'll keep score. Okay. First quote is, the past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
Lion King.
Booyah.
I knew that. We have to wait for you to finish saying.
No. As soon as you know it, yell it out.
I was being patient.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as soon as you know it, yell it out. Next quote. How do you spell love? You don't spell love, you feel it.
Oh Lord. Lady and the Tramp.
Negative.
Lilo and Stitch.
Nope. I'm going to give you 3 guesses and then you're out. And the other person can use up to 3 guesses and then we'll do a list and you'll pick from the list.
Aaron.
Otherwise, you'll just keep rambling off movies forever.
Yeah, are you going to say anything?
I'm thinking.
Frozen 2.
Negative.
I'm out.
Your guesses are up.
Fox and the Hound.
Negative.
Wow.
That was a good guess.
Once again, the quote is, how do you spell love? You don't spell love, you feel it.
The Fox and the Hound loved each other.
They did.
Okay.
They were animals. They know how to spell.
Yeah, neither one of them.
Oh, wait. That's true of 90% of the Disney movies.
Oh, I don't know if that's a Disney movie, but I'm going to guess it if I get another chance.
Okay. Aaron, you have any other guesses before I read the choices?
No.
All right. Here are your choices. Again, first one to yell out the correct answer. You only get 1 guess at the choices. So if you guess before I finish reading them and then you hear the answer, you're out. All right. Is it from Bambi, Winnie the Pooh, or Tangled?
Bambi.
Nope.
Tangled.
Nope.
Dang it!
That is from Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
So you know what my sudden lightning bolt was? That's probably not even a Disney movie in the first place.
What's that?
Charlotte's Web.
Oh, yeah, it's not Disney. Okay. Next quote. Quote number 3. Goodbye may seem forever. A farewell is like an end. But in my heart, the memory, and there you'll always be. Goodbye may seem forever. A farewell is like an end. But in my heart, the memory, and there you'll always be.
Huh. Um,
Hercules.
Nope.
Lord. May seem Pocahontas.
Nope.
Can you say it one more time?
Goodbye may seem forever. A farewell is like an end. But in my heart, the memory, and there you'll always be.
Peter Pan.
No.
Damn it.
Man, I ain't got no clue.
You guys ready for choices?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, here are the 3 choices. Is the quote from Up, Frozen, or The Fox and the Hound?
The Fox and the Hound.
That is correct.
Yes. 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 That's just because I knew it wasn't from the other two.
Right. That was a tough one, I think.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
tricks.
Quote number 4. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Pinocchio.
No.
I know why you chose that, though. That's part of a song.
You're correct.
Say it again.
No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true.
Cinderella?
You got it.
Yay.
job.
Wow.
The dream that you
You
wish
wish
will
will
come
come true.
I never would have got that in 1 billion years.
Okay. Did you say Pocahontas on that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the choices.
Nice.
Okay, anyway, quote number 5. Your identity is your most valuable possession. Protect it.
The Incredibles.
Yes! Quick with it. Quick with it.
I was gonna say a joke thing, but I couldn't think of the name of my joke either.
Impressive. Okay. Number 6. Because it's not worth winning if you can't win big.
The Road to El Dorado.
No. Good guess, though. Not because it's close to the answer, just because context clues that really fits.
Yeah, exactly.
Beauty and the Beast?
No. Because it's not worth winning if you can't win big.
Princess and the Frog.
No.
That felt very
Shit.
Gaston-ish.
Hmm.
Oh. No one. Man, I don't know.
Ready for guess for choices?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a clue before I give you the 3 choices. The clue was said by a character by the name of Coach Riley?
Oh, I know what this is.
Say it.
I think. Maybe I don't. Inside Out 2.
Nope.
Remember the Titans.
Nope. All right, here's your choices. Is it from Toy Story, Zootopia, or The Mighty Ducks?
The Mighty Ducks.
Yep. Good job. It's from The
Dang.
Mighty Ducks.
That was so aggressive.
She was getting that point. And may I say, she is kicking your ass. All right, continue.
That's okay.
Next clue.
About time, honestly.
Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them.
Oh. Ooh, that's in my brain somewhere deep away. Oh, I know what it is. It's the Aristocats.
You got it. Wow, that was impressive.
Oh, it's the little kitten tells that to one of the other little kittens.
Good
I have never
job.
seen that movie.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have either. I
Well,
think
that's
in
not
pieces.
surprising.
No, it's not. I think in pieces, but I don't think I've ever watched that one. Okay, quote number 8. If watching is all you're going to do, then you're going to watch your life go by without you.
Princess and the Frog.
No.
The Little Mermaid.
No.
Tangled.
No. If watching is all you're going to do, then you're going to watch your life go by without you.
Ratatouille.
No. Ready for choices?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Is it from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Saving Mr. Banks, or Finding Nemo?
Hunchback.
You got it.
Womp womp.
Sound like that's something somebody said to old Quasi.
Yeah.
Okay. Quote
And
number 9.
I don't think I've seen that since the theatrical release.
I feel like I've watched it maybe once, but I don't really remember many details from it.
That's one of the darker Disney movies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, quote number 9. Sometimes our strengths lie beneath the surface.
In your case, far beneath. Moana.
Oh. Who says that?
The old man at the fire about the chicken, about Hey Hey.
Oh, yeah. You're correct.
Moana.
Thanks. Welcome.
All right. So
Who
we're
gets the point?
I said Moana.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. That was me.
No, he said Moana. Okay. So we're down to the last question.
Okay.
And you guys are tied.
Ha ha!
So here we go. Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere.
Ratatouille.
Yes! Dang!
Boom. Unlike the Kansas City Chiefs, I came from behind to win.
Wow.
You know what?
A well-fought battle.
I'm not even salty because I'm not a little bitch.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Good job, players. You win a trip to Disney World.
What?
Pack your bags. You leave at the beginning of next month. All right. Let's see. Where's my... Oh, so here we are. The next part of the show is our movie review. So we watched... Drum roll. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think we talked about this ahead of time. We watched a vampire movie, y'all.
Multiple vampire movies.
Multiple vampire movies. All the same name.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Nosferatu
And in my case, I also watched Nosferatu 1 and Nosferatu 3.
But yep.
You can't
I
take credit
s-
for that.
I don't. I stole that joke from somebody in Jen's Discord.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I said I was watching the 1979 Nosferatu, and he said, "Could I watch that one if I haven't watched Nosferatu 1 yet?"
That's hilarious.
Then we were calling it the Nosferatu trilogy and all
I
that
like
sort
it.
of stuff.
I would first like to do an impression of each. Can I?
Oh, sure.
Okay. In Nosferatu, a vampire, um, Count Dracula sounds a little bit like this. I'm Count Dracula.
Okay.
I'm going to drink your blood.
Uh-huh.
And in Nosferatu, the newest one, Count Orlok sounds like this. I am Count Orlok.
Oh, you need to put a little more Romanian
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
your words.
There you go. I can do a Romanian accent,
That's
but
funny.
you do the great one.
And in the oldest one, he sounds like this.
Yeah.
It's a silent movie, you guys. That one you can take credit for.
I did not watch Nosferatu 1.
So I saw the previews and the movie for like the new movie coming out, the 2024 version, and I said, "Oh, maybe I want to see that." And so we had talked about maybe all watching it and reviewing it. And Lyle, I think, was someone that suggested, "Oh, let's watch the earlier version too." And so I was like, "Cool, sounds good." So I go to sit down to watch the movie last weekend, I guess it was, and I'm on Amazon Prime Video, and I find the silent movie version from like the night. What was it?
22.
1920s? Yeah. Okay. And I turn that sucker on. I get 20 minutes in, and then I message Aaron and Lyle in our group chat. This is boring AF. I didn't realize it was a silent movie. And Lyle's like, dude, we weren't going to watch the silent movie. We were going to watch the 1979 version of the movie. So there I am, not even realizing that existed.
And
I
then when
I
told
turned
the
it
people-
off.
when I told the people that I was watching the 1979 one, they were like, "Oh, you should watch the silent one too. It's worth it." And I'm like,
Ugh.
I don't want to. And then I'm like, well, it's only like 85 minutes. I'll just put it on in the background while I'm working, which is what I did.
Mm.
And
But how does one watch a silent movie in the background?
Right.
well, you can see it out of the your eye, corner of your eye. I have the way my monitors are all set up, I can kind of see them all at once. And then also in addition, I would like look over like whenever because it does put, several
Words on the
pages of
screen.
text on the screen at a time.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
and I made sure to look over when I knew the parts that people liked were about to happen. So I did catch a couple of those bits.
All right. So let's maybe start with that one. If you have notes on the oldest one that you've watched, since you're the only, I saw 20 minutes of it and turned it off. I was all too happy to turn it off. That's my
I did
opinion of it.
not take notes. I thought it was fine.
No one cares.
It was. I think both of the other ones were better. It was the least engrossing of the three. Now the positives that it did have were when he gets off of the boat, when he arrives in the little German town with his coffin,
Mm-hmm.
he's like holding it like you would hold a basket of laundry.
Yeah.
He's got like his right arm is over the top of the coffin, holding like kind of the bottom, and his other arm's kind of supporting it closest to him. And he just kind of like walks around town like in a daze, like looking for the
In the
place.
silent movie, he does this?
Yeah, he just wanders around with
Okay.
the coffin under his arm.
Because he also, I mean, skipping ahead a little bit, but he also does that in the 79 one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For like several different like camera cuts, see different scenes in different areas. He's just walking around with this coffin, and it's really funny.
Like it's an Amazon package or something.
Yeah. One of my friends described it as let's see. I gotta get this exact wording. It's, somebody said that they really like the visual storytelling of the silent one, obviously. And this guy said, especially the part where he's shuffling around town with his coffin like a freaking goober.
Yeah, that part's kind of weird.
So that was good. The There was the scene that you have probably seen before. I sent it to Aaron and Toby, a gif of it. It's like the shadow going up the stairs, and it's got like the claw hands, and it's like, walking up the stairs, and all you see is the shadow and not him.
Yeah.
So that's like iconic. I caught a glimpse of that. And then at one point, I can't remember the lady's name. I think it was Ellen. They changed her name in all 3 movies. The lady that he's like coming to get in the town.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her name was Ellen, and she was like, "And this is what I see every night." And she points out the window because like the mansion he buys in this one is just right across the street from their house.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband looks out the window and you just see like his little bald head and his claw hands holding onto the window like little specks in the
Yeah.
building across the street, just gazing at her. And it's so funny. Like, it's just like a little tiny detail that people probably back then saw and were like, "Oh my God." And I was just cracking up laughing. It was so funny to me.
By
Right.
the way, her name was Ellen in the most recent one, but it was also Ellen in 1922.
Mm. I know what it was in 1979 because I took notes on that show.
It was Count Orlok, Ellen, Thomas, Renfield, all in 1922.
Okay.
So they kinda did a combination from the 2 movies for the newest one, I guess.
Yes. Okay, so that's all I really had from that one, was just kind of some vague observations, and after watching all 3, each one of them, like, kind of went into detail on a certain aspect of it that the others kinda didn't cover, so it was nice having, like, all even if it's not necessarily really like a cohesive puzzle, I could kinda put it together in my brain, like, stuff that happened in one that was kind of, I don't understand why this happened or what's going on, but in the other one, it was a little clearer what was happening.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
great.
there were pieces of the 79 that I was looking for in the 24 that just didn't exist, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny they
Yeah.
left that out." To your point.
Mhm. Like, was it the 79 one where when he's going to the castle, right, at the end?
Mhm.
What's his name? Hutter?
Mhm.
Thomas Hutter?
Mhm.
He's going to the castle, and he's, like, almost there, he has to walk because nobody will bring him, obviously, to the cursed castle,
Right?
and a carriage comes and picks him up.
Mhm.
His name
Was
is Jonathan Hawka in the
Oh,
1979.
Okay.
Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan. He gets picked up in one of them, and whatever, the vampire, is driving the carriage.
Yes.
Is that the 79 one?
No, that's the newest one.
Oh, no, the newest one, nobody was driving it, right?
Oh, I guess I thought he was.
I think it was just an empty carriage in the new
Yeah,
one.
Oh, no,
nobody
you're
was
right.
driving
The
it.
79 one, it wasn't him because he opens the door and you see him inside. But I was confused as to, did he drive around and go through some back entrance and he was actually driving, or was it some other person?
So in the 22 one, it was very clearly the count that was driving the carriage.
Yeah, okay.
So in the 79 one, I think it was very unclear. It was just like he's all of a sudden in a carriage and then he's at the castle. So I
Yeah.
didn't know if there was someone driving it. In the new one, it's like a ghost carriage just being pulled by the horses and no driver.
Okay, that part was fuzzy for me.
So yeah, that was very, I don't know what we're supposed to interpret from that. But
That whole scene in the new one was very artistic, though.
yeah. I liked how the new one looked. Well,
Me
I mean, I
too.
like the new one in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Okay, so yeah, so that's all I got from the 22. So let's go to the 79 now.
Okay.
Okay, I got a bunch of notes on this one. So you want me
I'll
to
just
do
I'll
them in
just
order?
I'll share my quick overall because it was not much from me, and then we can comment because I know you're gonna have a bunch.
Mhm.
My overall thought of the 79 as I was watching it was that this acting sucks. It was very blah. I thought that the actor who played Renfield, the shop guy, was playing that way more distracting than it needed to be. Like, just he was overdoing it and it was distracting. It wasn't even giving me insanity, like I think is what it was supposed to be conveying. So overall, other than a little bit of Count Orlok, I just found the performances to be uninteresting. The landscape scenes in this movie, y'all, are way too long. I don't need to watch the mountainside for 5 minutes. Like, I get it. You're traveling. It's pretty country. And the last note is in both of them, but in this one, as the first one I watched, I wanted more like of the vampire lore
Yeah,
because I felt like all I got was just a bunch of boring human stuff, and I just wanted more of the vampire stuff. That seemed to be missing for me from that movie.
fair.
Other than that, it was okay. I was kind of bored through a lot of it.
Well, first of all, it was Count Dracula and then the 79 one.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Secondly, I would like to also say, can we please, as a society, stop with the long opening credit nonsense?
Well, this was from 1979, and the other movie we just recently watched was from 2024. So
I
it
understand,
doesn't
but they
seem like
didn't really.
that's
2024 didn't have a long opening credits, but still,
no, but
movie
The Substance
movies
did.
in 2024 have long opening credits.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Monsters Inc. has long opening credits. Like, let's just start the movie and you can put the names over the movie like everybody else does, and nobody will notice, and we'll all be like the whole movie, who is that? Blah, blah, blah. Even though we would have known if we would have seen it, but we'll look at the end like everybody else.
See, here's my caveat to that. My caveat is I don't mind it when they're giving me all the names, but there's video or pictures going on that's building something that's important to the story for me to know. Like
Well, right.
somebody's doing something in the back of those.
That's that's what I'm saying, silly goose.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that point. I didn't hear you make that point. Sorry.
Aaron hates a long intro, y'all. Like,
I don't mind
even
it if it's
That's
informative,
what
but
I'm saying. Like,
okay.
yeah, like the movie has essentially started for some movies where the credits, the names of the people who made the film and their executive producers and the people who star and are just flashing in front of, like, you're seeing a lot of times it's setting up the landscape or the
Somebody might be
thing that
walking through an
happens before
airport or
the movie
something.
start. Right.
Whatever it
That's
is.
fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same
This
page.
what I'm talking about. Like, Monsters Inc. is just like a bunch of colored blocks, right?
Yeah,
With
the
a song.
doors or something, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So, like, that's not really adding anything to the story.
No.
The This one was we literally watched for like 5 minutes different shots of dried up, sucked up old human remains.
Yeah, like some catacombs or something.
it was 2.5 minutes of mummies.
Yeah. Like,
Which you never see again.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't ever really explain why we
Yeah.
saw that. I mean, I guess obviously,
Death.
yeah, but anyway. As a whole, I thought the 1979 one was goofy. Now, I can appreciate that it was made in 1979, so,
Yeah.
graphics and, like, visually, it's not gonna ever be as pleasing as something made in 2024 is. And we're kinda used to a certain type of, um, visual look now, and if we don't get that, we're kind of, like,
Well,
bored.
what I'll
But
say what I'll say to that is Wizard of Oz was filmed in what, 1920 something, 30 something? And
Mhm.
that movie is not lacking.
I
So,
know, I agree. That's what I'm
okay.
saying, like, it's like, for example, The Exorcist, I
Yeah.
find the older movies to be scarier than the
Mhm.
newer movies that just use, like,
Visual effects and stuff that use
visual
CGI.
effects. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the old ones are scary. Halloween, the old ones are scarier just because they have less they play with your mind more.
Mhm.
This movie, I just felt like it was goofy. Like, And I know Lyle will touch on this a lot because I've seen some of his notes, but if Count Dracula came up to me on the streets, I'd be like, "Bro, what the fuck you talking about?" And I just move on with my day, you know?
Ain't you supposed to be shriveled up in the sunlight? What's going on?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, they
you
were
got
very
some,
loosey-goosey
like,
about that.
too long teeth. What's up with your teeth?
Oh god, the teeth.
Why you look like that?
The Nosferatu teeth.
Anyway.
All right, Lyle, give us your
All
commentary
right,
there.
so here's my notes from 1979. Note number 1: this opening 3-minute shot of mummies with the shaky cam. ... Number
Yeah.
2: yikes, she would be extremely worried about my eating on the run. This is when Lucy is telling her husband, like, he's like rushing his breakfast down in the morning and not really pay attention. He's trying to get out, and she's like, "Oh, you'll catch your death if you keep eating on the run like this."
Right.
And then also I put negative chemistry between these two, probably intentional. Also, I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true or not, that this movie was filmed both in German and English. So I think these might be German actors.
Oh, I for sure think that's true. I did read that it was filmed in Germany.
Mhm. Yeah, by what's his name again?
Somewhat a W. Hernog or something.
Werner Herzog,
Yeah.
real actor. So anyway, so that's it. Then number 3, the dude goes into this office and meets his boss. I said, "I'm not trusting this boss with my coffee order, much less my life."
Yeah.
Because he's like, "You'll go off to the mountains."
Yeah, he's so
Wants you
distracting.
to deliver the deed in person. Ain't no way, bro. I ain't going nowhere. This dude tells me.
Not way overdoing it and not believable. Like, come on, bro.
Then he's the whatever his name is, Jonathan's telling Lucy he's got to go and she's gonna stay with someone. It's not really clear, but it's like his brother.
Oh, I thought he made it clear that he was
Friend.
going to stay with his brother.
Okay, so it was his brother in this one.
His brother and his wife, yeah.
Okay, so I said, can Lucy not take care of herself while he's gone? She's got all those kittens. I'm sure she'll be fine. Now,
Can't
all
just
3
leave
movies,
women folk by themselves. They
Her
can't be
name's
trusted.
Lucy?
her name was Lucy, yeah.
What? Okay.
I think.
I thought I saw Mina. Maybe that's her real name.
Hmm.
No, her real name is not Isabel.
Oh, it was Mina. Mina Harker.
Oh, it is Mina. Where the fuck did I get Lucy from?
I don't know. And I was buying it too because I didn't really remember.
Okay, Mina. Sorry. Anyway, so that was like a theme in all 3 movies. She had a cat in the first movie. She had all the kittens in the second movie, and then she had another cat in the third movie,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of gave some little foreshadowing when she was chatting with Willem Dafoe. And then my number 5 note is somebody just really, really wanted to film these landscapes. They're beautiful, but
For real.
that was when it was just nothing but landscapes for a while. Number 6, journaling. So Jonathan was journaling in the castle because he couldn't get letters out. I said it's been 10 to 15 years or 15 to 20 years probably since I've read Dracula, but this is giving me vague recollections of it. I've always heard Nosferatu, but never really looked into it. I wonder how much of a recreation just with an ugly Dracula it actually is. And I told Erin about that, and she said that it's like the 1979 one is a mix of the 22 Nosferatu and the novel Dracula, the Bram Stoker. So that was interesting. I did pick up some of that here and there. Then he's sleeping, right? Jonathan's sleeping in the castle. I said, I mean, it's probably for the best considering the stalking vampire he's sharing lodgings with. But did this man really sleep in his full dress ruffles?
Oh, yeah.
Like this dude had his boots on, his little ruffly shirt, everything he rode the horse in on. That's how he slept for some reason.
Didn't they also say there was a werewolf on the prowl and he couldn't be outside?
There were wolves. They knew that. There were wolves in the area.
Maybe just wolves, and I read in the werewolf part. Okay.
Then my next note is
This from a guy who literally falls asleep on the couch. in all of his clothes and his shoes.
Yeah, but that's different.
Belt on.
It's stunning how much this guy looks like Bill Skarsgård or vice versa about
Yeah.
Nosferatu. And it actually Bill in the new Nosferatu didn't look like this guy, but like normal everyday Bill Skarsgård looks like 1979 Nosferatu. He's
Yeah.
got the deep shadowed eyes and everything. And then my note number 9 is Isabel Adjani as Mina apparently is hot, beautiful. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
She was really stunning. I was like, wow, this lady is so pretty. I have a new celebrity crush.
She's still alive if you wanna go knock on her door.
46 years too late, I found out about her. Anyway, then the
Guess how
jaw
old she is.
now.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 46 years since the movie came out, so I'm gonna say she was about 22. So I'm gonna say she's 68.
She's 69.
Nice.
Anyway.
Okay, my next note is the jaw on this ship captain is out of this world.
I don't
'Cause
remember
that dude had the most jaw that you have ever seen jaw.
His
The mo-
jaw was doing the most.
He had the most jaw.
Note number 11. Did she just say Dr. Van Helsing? Caps lock.
Mm-hmm.
And
She-
Aaron also noticed that, and we were messaging. We were kind of had it on at the same time. And then my note number 12 is just all caps lock again, frolicking. This is when Nosferatu is just like running through the town square, just like kind of doing a skippy, weird, like I don't even know what he was doing, but he was just kind of trotting along. It was right before he goes to her house.
Mm.
And he's just frolicking through the town. He didn't have the coffin at this point, but it was just very funny the way he was running about.
Yeah. I
Just
And
noticed
spreading
that
then
as
death.
well.
I didn't know how much the plague played into all this going into it.
Right.
But my next note says this place could desperately use the Pied Piper, nice version. Because
Lots of rats.
there's the one Pied Piper that supposedly let all the rats out of the city, and then there's the other Pied Piper that let all the children out of the city and murdered them. So not that version, the one that did the rat. But yeah, so many rats. Just a lot of rats in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Aaron pointed out the funniest line of the movie, which Mina found when she was reading the journal about how to deal with the vampire. Which is weird that would be in Count Dracula's house and that her husband would find it just laying around and then take it with him, and then she would be able to use it to like deal with the
But
whole
didn't he have that book the whole time? That was one of the things I thought
I don't know. I
that
thought he
was
found it in
missing.
the castle.
Oh, okay. See, you might be right, but I thought he had that book before he left, and he was doing some reading in the place he stayed with the gypsies before he even got to the castle.
Oh,
Yes, he did, because he said the word Nosferatu.
Yeah, so he was like studying up on this Nosferatu legend before he even got there, and that's one of the things that was missing from the new film that I thought was interesting because, which I guess they used the other
yeah, not
whatever the doctor's name is.
well. They use we'll get to the new one in a second.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
so my final note is Aaron, do you want to say how she had to deal with the vampire?
oh,
I mean, I just have that one little line, but and should a woman make him forget the cry of the cock?
You even said it the way she said it. Of the cock. And then so my last note is he's not going to forget the cry of the cock until the sun's first light with a handful of titty like that. Because she like lures him in, right, to deal with the vampire and give him her pure blood that she's giving voluntarily and basically keep him locked up until daylight so he gets burned up by the sun.
Yeah,
And he just had a handful
he
in that
did.
scene, and it was really funny. It was really distracting. But I
Yeah.
like after the sun gets him and everything, and he kind of and then
Uh-huh.
I think it was Dr. Van Helsing again comes back in to check on her, and he's just laying curled up on the floor back there with his little white face paint just
Yep.
vamped out, just waiting to be finished off basically. But it was just funny him laying in there in the corner getting ignored for the first minute or two.
Yeah.
The doctor was in there. All right, and that's it about 1979. Aaron sent a GIF to our group chat that was comparing that Nosferatu to the Castlevania vampire, and she said these are not the same because the
They're both
Castlevania,
Dracula. That's why.
right? And the GIF that she sent of Nosferatu says centuries come and go, and I said that's just describing how long the movie feels.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It was
horrible.
less than 2 hours, but it literally felt like it was 47 hours long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of the, like, lingering landscape shots and stuff like that. Like, even if it's not that long, like, if it's a minute or 2, it feels like forever because nothing is happening.
Yep.
And it wasn't horrible. I wasn't upset. I'm not upset that I watched it or the 22 version, but Lord, it was sure something at certain points. But, oh, one last thing. This movie had my favorite visual gag of all of the 3 movies,
Okay.
which was she's in the bathroom, like, getting ready for bed or whatever, and the door opens behind her, and you
Mm.
don't see anything, you just see the door opening, and she's, like, kinda startled, and she's
Yeah.
looking in the mirror at herself, and you see nothing, and
Right.
then you see the shadow and the hand come in, because he's there all along, but you can't see him in the mirror. And I
Right.
was like, "Ooh, I like that, I like that how they did that."
Yeah. They stuck to one vampire lore thing.
Yep. Do you know why vampires don't appear in mirrors and
They
would
don't have a
actually
soul?
probably appear in a modern mirror?
Oh, I don't know.
Because mirrors were traditionally backed by silver, which was thought of as the purest of all metals. And so they
Oh.
couldn't be their evil souls couldn't be pictured in the silver mirror, but since modern mirrors
Yeah.
don't use silver anymore, they would probably show up in one of our mirrors.
Gotcha.
Also, I just wanna say a couple of extra things.
Yeah.
My
Go ahead.
entire life, I thought Nosferatu was just the name of the vampire in the movie Nosferatu. Wrong.
Yeah.
Nope.
I didn't know anything about Nosferatu prior to this 2024 movie coming out. I didn't know there was a previous one. And I thought the same. I was like, oh, it's the name of the vampire. Cool.
Yeah, it just means vampire.
Yeah,
Yep. Didn't know
or
that either.
Romanian or whatever.
And I wanna say, um, well, I made a couple of comments. One being, my man is just carrying his coffin
Yep.
around. And then Lyle said, easier than buying or building a new one every time you get somewhere. And I said, that's his sleeping bag coffin. Or I should have said, that's his camping coffin.
Yeah.
And then I also realized why horsepower is called horsepower in this movie. So there's a plus. Not related to the movie at all, but I saw horses pulling a carriage and I was like, is that why it's called horsepower on cars?
So
Anyway,
the thing with the thing with the coffin. So he had every night he had to return to sleep on the dirt where he became a vampire or where
Where he
he
was buried or something.
yeah, something about it had to be
Soil.
specifically the original dirt or soil that he was whatevered on,
Mhm.
some sort of way magically connected to that. And if he didn't, I guess it hurts him or he dies.
Yeah, I think he dies. Yeah, the way they did that in the 79 version I thought was good, which was he shipped a bunch of coffins
Mm-hmm.
that all had dirt in them and rats, plague rats apparently.
Right.
But just in case, I guess somebody's like, "This is weird. Why are we bringing one coffin?" and opened it and then there's a dead guy in it. They'd be like, what the hell? Why are we doing this? Let's not do this." But if
Right.
there's like 20, unless they happen to open the one that he's in, they'll just open one and be like, "Oh, it's a box of dirt," and then be like, "Whatever, fine." It's weird
Yeah.
they're sending it in coffins, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a clever schema to get your dirt and your coffin over there without it being too suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, shall we move on to
Yep.
the
well,
24s?
one thing before I forget,
Oh, sure.
to all the vampires out there, If you're
Mhm.
thinking about turning me into a vampire, give me a year. Because I wanna be a hot vampire. I don't really truly don't mind becoming a vampire.
You just want a little heads up.
Yeah, and I will wait till each of my kids get their shit together
Before you turn them?
and before I turn them into a vampire, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause, like, I want them to be part of my life forever too, and Lyle, you can decide when you would like to become a vampire as well.
Oh, did
You were
not know where
gonna
that.
leave me
Yeah.
behind.
That's what I thought she was gonna say. You can decide if you want to get turned or not, but the kids are coming with me.
No, you're coming. And Toby, up to you.
I'm already a vampire.
Perfect.
Spoiler alert.
Well, give me a year, okay?
Okay. Okay, so the
No
2024
way that
version.
motherfucker is a vampire. He gotta sleep at night. If
But
any of us are vampires, it's that one sitting behind me.
that's true. That's true. All right, I just have some 3 quick notes and then I have an overall wrap up, but I'm sure Lyle's going to have way more for us, so I'll talk about. I just simply put for the 2024 version that it was immediately chilling. Those opening scenes, the
Mhm.
acting overall was so much better. What kept my attention. And I just overall did enjoy the film for what it was. Not being a horror film fan, I still enjoyed watching it. Didn't love it, but I thought it was fine. Thought it was good.
Yeah.
That's it.
To point out, to add on to your acting thing, I looked up, that was Johnny Depp's daughter, right?
Mhm.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I've ever seen her in anything, but she was great.
She really was good. Yeah, all of them. I mean, I thought everybody did a good job.
Aaron
Yeah.
was
But compared to 79, they would have had to.
I
Hey,
I
was,
mean,
like, so pleased. I didn't know that,
stop talking shit about my girl Isabel.
I didn't know that, Homeboy and Homeboy were in the movie, so I was pleasantly surprised.
yeah, towards the end.
No.
Oh, you mean Nicholas Holt?
Yeah, and the other
Oh,
homeboy,
um,
the kick-ass guy.
Oh,
yeah.
And then I like Willem Dafoe as well.
Yeah. I
So
thought maybe you were talking about some of those surprise people I didn't know about either.
yeah, I didn't know anybody that was in it. I was like, "Is that Willem Dafoe?" And then he started talking. I was like, "Oh yeah."
I knew Nicholas Holt was in it because I saw a preview.
Well, he's I guess one of the main
Yeah,
people.
I didn't know Willem Dafoe was in it. That
And
was
Aaron's
surprising
like,
to me.
"That's the kick-ass guy," and I'm like, "Okay." I mean, I know he grew up and became like a real adult, but I've
Yeah,
only ever seen him in Kick-Ass, so he was just a shrimpy little nerd then.
yeah.
do you
So
did you know who Nicholas Holt was?
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't the way you said it is that you didn't know anybody.
In fact, no, I didn't know anybody that was in the movie. Like I didn't
Oh,
see any
okay.
previews or anything. In fact, I almost made the comment to you while we were watching it when he was like doing really poorly that he's looked worse before because you know he was an actual zombie in another movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was him in Warm Bodies, huh?
Yeah, and he
Okay.
was.
Did you actually watch that movie yet?
No, I did not.
Oh my god!
Not
If
You
you
yet.
watch
guys, I told him he needed to watch this movie fucking years ago.
Yep, you
And
sure did.
then
Beast,
again on his list when we sat there and made a list instead of picking a movie out.
Yep,
I made him a playlist.
yep. All
hey,
true.
Real friends make playlists for their friends. Fake friends don't watch said playlist.
Okay.
so no,
I
I
hope I
didn't.
die never seeing any of those now.
Me and Aaron were watching it in the living room. But so let's go through. It's weird. Is it weird that two of the three famous Skarsgårds have been vampires?
Is it? Or
It
is it
feels weird.
a spooky coincidence?
Because Alexander Skarsgård was I don't know how to say it properly, but he was in True Blood,
Mm-hmm.
so he was a vampire. And then Bill has now been a vampire twice because he was in a show on Netflix called Hemlock Grove, which I watched all of, regrettably. And then he's in this, in Nosferatu.
Maybe they just are vampires.
I'm saying maybe you just uncovered a
He might be. I'm shocked that
secret.
Stellan has never been a vampire of some sort.
Who's that?
Their dad, Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, I gotcha.
So that's what else happened in this movie? Yeah, Aaron was visibly disturbed by Lily Rose Depp's possession sequences basically every time they happened.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit.
She was doing all them back arches and the moaning and everything. She was, as Aaron said earlier, doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was I had heard people say that they were impressed by her performance, and I would agree. Now I've had mentioned to me several times by Jen, how does it make you feel that The Substance was nominated as like the first horror movie in forever that's nominated for an Oscar? Well, now that I've seen Nosferatu, it's disappointed is how it makes me feel, because this deserves it over that fucking movie for sure.
Oh gosh.
Um, but no, I liked it overall. I thought it was good. Like I said, I'm glad I watched the other two, kind of pieced in some stuff that wouldn't have made sense. Knock was not as crazy, creepy, weird as the boss in the second one,
Right.
but he was also more deranged at the later parts. Oh,
Yeah.
another part from the second one when the boss that's like dabbling in the occult. So he's dabbling in the occult. Supposedly he summoned the vampire here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not really in this one. In this newest one. But in the second movie, he like runs over to Count Dracula and he's like, "I'm here to serve you. I will do whatever you want." And Dracula just like pushes his face away.
Yeah, he's knee height. He's knee height to the vampire,
He
like
just shoves him away. Like,
pledging his lodge. He's like,
Yeah.
"Get off me."
And he literally doesn't even say anything. He just goes, ugh, and pushes him.
He just grunts him away. It's so funny. But yeah, in this one, he kind of smacks him around and is like, "You are the servant. You will not demand anything of me." Now I had to look this up because I couldn't remember, but there's a lot.
You will call me Lord.
Right.
There's a couple instances of lavender in this movie, the flowers.
Mm.
And I had to look it up because I remembered there being like a flower that they would use to disguise the scent of the dead bodies and the plague and stuff like that.
Mm.
I think that was posies, but that's like, the pocket full of posies thing.
Mm.
Whatever. What is that? I don't know the name of the little chant.
Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Yeah, that's about
Ring
the
around
ring
the
around the rosy.
rosy, pockets full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Because we're dead from the plague. But no, so like he cuts the flowers and gives them to her early on. What's his name? Thomas
Yeah,
Hutta, and gives them to name
Ellen.
Ellen, and she's like, "Why did you kill these flowers?"
Yes.
But that was lavender, right? And then at the end, when they're like in their final embrace, they're covering them with lavender, I assume for the smell.
Hmm.
But I had to look up the lavender apparently was used in the plague. It was thought to fight off the plague, like if you kept it around you and stuff.
Interesting. Like it was some sort of natural Lysol.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff still. Like modern medicine cannot compare to the healing properties of lavender. That sort of thing on the internet.
Gotcha.
But no, I didn't take any specific notes in this movie other than in general, I liked it. I liked the cool like lighting and the shadows and the way they did stuff. I liked how a lot of it looked like it was in black and white, even though it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought that was cool as well.
And
Specifically, the carriage scene sticks out to me.
yes,
That whole scene was really cool.
where he like kind of floats into the carriage almost is what it looks like.
Mhm.
I like that they didn't really show us the Count's face. Like in the other ones, like as soon as he gets to the castle, he sees him in full, in his like creepy little shadow skeleton man.
Yeah.
And in the new one, he was, like, kinda hiding himself the whole time until the very end when we started seeing him. So
Yeah.
I thought that was made more sense than just showing off, "Oh, yeah, this guy's definitely a normal human,"
Hmm.
earlier than that.
Yep.
And, yeah, pretty much it. I didn't take step-by-step notes on that one, so I don't really have anything for you there.
Okay.
Trying to come up with anything specific that stuck out to me.
Yeah. I wrote, even though I'm not a big horror movie fan, I always enjoyed vampire movies and shows because I find the lore of it to be very intriguing. I had seen previews of the 2024 Nosferatu and thought it might be an interesting watch. I half expected to not be that into the older movie when you suggested we watch it, and I was correct on that. I was bored many times throughout that film and ended up actually fast forwarding through some of the landscape scenes just to move them along. The newer film definitely kept my attention, and the plot moved along at a good pace for my liking. Although I did find it to be a bit long, the newer movie. As I was
Yeah.
watching it, that's just what I felt. Could have just been my mood at the time, but
I had read that they were like, not read. I saw an interview at one point, and I had forgot I had seen it, or didn't really know what they were talking about, I guess, with Lily Rose Depp and Nicholas Hoult. I guess it was him.
mhm.
I just didn't know that this was the movie they were talking about. But anyway, they were talking about how he would walk around set like in his full makeup,
Mm.
and it like terrified them,
I can
basically.
only imagine. Jesus.
Like even though they knew what he looked like. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay. Is that it for the movie
Um,
review?
I think so.
I personally didn't love it. I didn't, like, dislike it.
Mhm.
It was a little long, but I gotta stop watching movies when I'm tired,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, I'm always tired. But anyway, it was a little, like, very Exorcist feeling, this one.
Yeah.
I did like how she was actually terrified of him at first,
Mhm.
where the 1979 movie, she was not scared at all.
Right. Right.
Like you would think she would because she kept having the nightmares, but then he shows up and she's like the door opens
Yeah.
in the 1979 movie, closes, there's a shadow, and then she shows up on the side of him and
Yeah.
she's like, and I'm like, I would have jumped the second that door creaked open like that, but that's just me.
Right. We didn't talk about the connection between the two of them. There's a lot of assumptions that they make that we're just supposed to read in, I think. But I want to say it was the newer one that really um hinted at the reason she's so connected to him, because apparently she had some sort of sexual awakening to him. um I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
she cried out in loneliness when she was younger,
Right. Which
and, like,
invited in this darkness.
yeah, and apparently she was, like, already a conduit, so that was maybe why she was alone because she had all these night terrors in her house. Yeah,
Yeah.
he cried out, and then his spirit we did see a flashback of that of her just, like, kinda, gyrating and moaning in a cornfield or whatever, in a
Right.
field of
Like
barley field.
like an ecstasy kind of thing.
Yeah, and that was completely unexplained until much later, so but yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, and then they became linked at that point, I guess,
Because they
and
have
I
some
thought
dialogue at some part of the movie, and it's like you're reading into why she's connected to him and why
yeah.
she's bad as well and deserves to die and all this crap. I don't know.
Ooh.
She
It was a
had
different
the
kind of film. I will say that.
she had the ability to see the future. I'm just kinda reading. She
Hmm.
revealed that to William Dafoe's character.
Mhm.
Hey, throw me another
Okay, well, enough about that. If you liked any of that or you think it's interesting, go give it a watch. If not, we've pretty much told you what happened. So,
Yeah.
um, so that brings us to the end of the episode, which is good because we're running a little long here. Lyle had a great idea for a top 3, so I'm going to let him lead us in to our top 3 for this episode.
Since I knew we were doing the Nosferatus and we were going to watch at least 2 of them, I figured why not do our top 3 vampires or vampire types from anything you want. So from a movie, TV show, books, games, whatevs.
Yep. Top
And
3
so,
vampire fiction is what I wrote.
yeah, it's gonna amount out to the same thing. I did my top 3 like types of vampires, which you'll understand what I'm talking about when we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have 2 honorable mentions.
Wow, I have more honorable mentions than you this time. Okay. Is Aaron back?
Yeah, she's here.
I never
Okay.
left.
Okay, I heard some background noise. Thought you might have stepped away.
That was me throwing cough drops at her.
Okay. All right. So number 3, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
My number 3 favorite vampire type is monstrous man bats or werebats.
Okay.
So like it doesn't look like a person, like a scary monster person. It looks like a big bat person.
Mm.
I generally don't like the monstrous mouth stretchy kind of vampires like you see in like the Van Helsing movie, the more recent Van Helsing movie, or the ones with especially fucked up features, but I am a known enjoyer of large creatures in my fantasy. Minotaurs, some werewolves, the cool kind of orcs, and so on. I like the beefy vampire bat people on this aesthetic predilection alone. And then I have some pictures if y'all were confused, but like
No, I
you
know
know,
I visualize what you're saying.
like the big boss dude in like the 3rd or 4th Underworld movie. Like he's
Yes.
got the big wings and stuff, and he's like a big bat person, or the
Mhm.
man bat from Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Got it. Okay.
That
Aaron?
is not how I did my top 3, but okay.
Me either. That's not how I did it either.
No biggie.
My number 3 is like comedy vampires. What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm.
That Dark Shadows movie. I just think it's funny whenever the vampires are essentially making fun of themselves, or the like What We Do in the Shadows, they're basically like, if I'm remembering correctly, like living their life as such they're humans, and it's a real inconvenience that they're vampires and they have to deal with their vampire roommates.
That's
Right,
funny.
Lyle?
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend it to you, but
Yeah, you'd be
Yeah,
wasting your time.
we've watched the movie and not the TV show, and our friends have watched the TV show and not the movie. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny because they have like a classic traditional vampire, and then a more modern vampire, and then one guy is just an energy vampire. He just feeds on other people's negative emotions. He
yeah,
doesn't
and then
actually drink blood at all.
in the movie, I don't know if this is how the TV show is. I'm sure it's similar, but because that isn't it some of the same characters?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, so like it's set up like a reality TV show is set up. Like you're they interview them. Like they have like little sessions where they sit down and they talk about the other things or what's going on, just like in those reality TV shows how they do.
Yeah, or like in The Office.
Yeah. It's filmed like that. So they like will complain about so and so's mess that he left on the table or whatever.
Yeah, he's always dragging his coffin dust around the house. It's so untidy.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to go out to the club, but there's coffin dust on all of my nice clothes.
Right, yeah. It's funny. Okay, you're number 3?
Okay, my number 3 is actually a movie you just referenced, the Dark Shadows movie. I like that movie. The way I approach this, by the way, is I was just thinking of vampire fiction, whether it be TV, movie, comic book, video game, whatever, and I just picked my favorites for whatever reason. Coincidentally, I only have TV shows and movies because I don't really do much of the other stuff. But anyway, Dark Shadows is one of those movies that came to mind when we said vampire. I have seen it a couple of times. I don't know why, but I like that movie. I think because I like what's her name? The lead actress in it.
Helena Bell Bonham Carter or whatever. Isn't she in it?
No, I'm thinking of
Oh, no.
shit. What's her name? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, there's an old one, so don't look at that one.
No.
2012.
It is Helena Bonham Carter. Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, Eva Green.
Ava Green.
That's the girl. Yeah, I like her.
Mm.
And in that movie, I think she's great. She's like the villain in it. But anyway, that's it. Dark Shadows is one that came to mind.
Cool. All right, so that's me next. Number two. My number two is Underworld / Blade. Rave vampires.
Yep.
Hot, partying in techno clubs, wearing a lot of leather, thriving in their underground market of blood bags and blood donation centers instead of mass murder, but also totally willing to mass murder if you make them.
Right.
I just like that for some reason, for like 2 decades, all of our vampire movies, they like were always at raves. They
Yep.
always wore nothing but leather. They were out at
Yep.
clubs. It was just really funny to me, and that's like I like that. I like that scene of vampire. That's like very 90s 2000s.
Agree. Okay, Aaron, number two.
Shit, I lost my notes. So Blade is like in my honorable mention, just FYI.
Fair.
Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how that show is set up, and we watched all of it, and of course, hot vampires love them. But also, there's a lot of layers to that show. There's witches, there's werewolves, there's doppelgangers from like different points in history. There's they don't really have any physical features change whenever they vampire out other than their teeth. Well, wait, do they? They do.
Kind of.
Like their eyes kind of do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so that, and then they have the ability to turn their humanity off, and they have the whole part where they're drinking animal blood instead of human blood to try and keep their humanity, but then they'll switch their humanity off and they become like the main character, one of the main characters whenever he was first turned. They're like old, you know. And he was like, they called him the Ripper because he just killed everything. Anyway,
He didn't
but
just
like now he's like
nicely.
writing in his diary essentially, like in the current day.
Yeah.
That show is set up, a family gets into a car accident and the parents die, and he actually saves the two teenagers in the car. And so he essentially falls in love with
Elena,
and then he has a brother who comes and is like a bad boy vampire who he's trying to keep at bay. And anyway, good show, but that's, like I said, I did like shows and not so much types.
Right. That was in my honorable mentions. Was the I said whatever you call the Vampire Diaries versions, like high school slash very old, but they don't look old, 20-somethings vampires that just are trying to live normal lives, basically.
Okay. My number 2 is one that's already been mentioned, but it's the Van Helsing movie.
Yeah.
I really like the female vampire minions, the way that they morph and change, and of course the main vampire in that movie is fun as well. Anyway, yeah, I like that movie, and of course my girl's in it, so I gotta mention it.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, see, I'm not usually a fan of the ones that like their mouths get all oblong and they're like, they have the mouth full of razor sharp piranha teeth. That's usually not my kind of vampire.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's kind of how they are in 30 Days of Night, huh, Aaron?
Yeah.
My number one vampire type is from the Castlevania TV show. Um, Also hot, sciencey, not necessarily evil, but willing to go there when humanity forces them to. The idea that Dracula can be supernatural and also a man of science, which the church would have also viewed as supernatural, is cool and interesting take.
Hmm.
So I like that he's like really old and he knows all this science and stuff that kind of got burned away during the Dark Ages and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And he didn't lose that knowledge like the rest of humanity did. And he's trying to bring it back, but it ain't going so well.
Interesting.
And he can, like, just move his whole
Yeah, his castle moves.
house with him.
Yeah. That's the titular Castlevania.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all. That's my number one. I just like the idea that they can be like they can be very refined and stuff, but they also are bloodthirsty killers if they want to be.
Hmm. Okay, Aaron, number 1.
My favorite is Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Hmm.
Um,
I
as a
had a
kid, I
feeling.
watched the movie. As a preteen through teenager, watched the show. Slash Angel also gets tied into that because that's just a spinoff of Buffy.
Hmm.
Um, Angel was a freaking dreamboat, and, um anyway, um, always loved that show. I loved that's like I don't know, I feel like Buffy and Vampire Diaries are closely related to the way their vampires work.
Yeah. But the Buffy ones get like the weird horns and the ghoul face whenever they
Well, yeah, they don't get horns,
activate them.
but they do get the
Well, they
ghoul
get
thing.
those like not horns, their eyebrows get really pronounced though.
Yeah,
Okay.
and, like, best character on a TV series, Spike from Buffy.
Mm.
I love him. He,
Was
like, just
he
doesn't give a shit.
was he a creature of some kind, or he was just human?
He's a vampire.
He's a
Oh, he is a
vampire.
vampire. Okay. I
Mhm.
didn't watch Buffy really, so I don't remember.
He had
Okay.
an accent, and he always told it like it was, and he wasn't always bad. He wasn't
Mhm.
always good, but yeah, like, he pushed the limits.
Hmm.
Um, I think at one point you watched it more recently than I did, Lyle. Did weren't the he wasn't he in love with her?
Oh yeah. I didn't
Okay.
finish it. I was started watching it when it was on Netflix at one point, and I got like through 3 or 4 seasons before they randomly yanked it off, and I don't know if I've ever seen it online anywhere since then.
So the Spike in Angel is the same Spike from Buffy?
Yeah.
Blonde
Okay,
hair,
then
gray
yeah.
suit.
Yeah. Because I watched Angel, so I was like, I know this character, but I didn't remember he was also a vampire. Okay. It's been so long since I've seen that.
I did not miss an episode of those 2 shows.
Okay, my number 1 is, anybody have a guess?
Yeah, Underworld.
Underworld.
You guys know me. My number one is Underworld, not just because you can see Kate Beckinsale in some skin tight leather,
And
but
less than that even.
and less than that in some scenes. But I do really enjoy those movies a lot. I have enjoyed all of them as they have expanded. Some people did not take too kindly to some of them, but I liked them. And I like Kate Beckinsale, so that's my number one.
Nice.
Fair enough. I figured as much, honestly.
All right, what about some honorable mentions? What you got, Lyle?
Well, I already mentioned the Vampire Diaries, and
Mhm.
my other honorable mention is the Chupacabra.
Oh, okay.
Which is a cryptid in Mexico. It's it sucks the blood of goats basically,
Hmm.
and so it's basically a vampire because it drinks blood, and it's a fun word. So that's my other honorable mention:
Okay.
Vampire Diaries, vampires, and Chupacabra.
Aaron, did you have any honorable mentions?
I kind of said mine already.
30 Days of
No.
Mine were that movie Queen of the Dead with Aaliyah that came out when I was in high
Mhm.
school because it was super popular and I remember watching it. I had Angel because I binge watched that whole series well after it was on TV. And then I also listed that movie Salem's Lot because they recently re-released it, and I watched the new one with my brother when he was visiting one weekend, and it was pretty good. It was spooky.
Is that a Stephen King thing?
I think so. Yeah, it was. Anyway, that's all I had for honorable mentions.
I also want to mention, I didn't even put it because I knew Lyle would mention it, Castlevania.
Hmm.
I really do like that show, so I'd put it in my honorable mention as well.
Okay.
It's a good
Yeah.
show, and it only gets better.
And Hotel Transylvania.
Oh,
So, one final fun fact before we head out: did you guys know that until the 1922 Nosferatu, that was the first time where vampires basically burn up and die in the sun?
no,
Oh.
did not know that.
And that's like a cornerstone of vampire lore.
Right.
Like in Dracula, he's weakened a little bit and he can't use his full array of powers. Like he can't transform into mist and stuff like that during the daytime
Mm-hmm.
in the original novel. But he doesn't die. He can still go outside.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it was hard to tell, and I would say all three Nosferatus. Like it sure did seem like that dude was outside in the daytime quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like when he specifically forgot the cry of the cock,
Yeah.
and that was when he died.
It's funny nobody mentioned the movie Dracula.
Dracula.
Like the one with
What about
um
Interview with the Vampire?
Winona Ryder and all. Yeah, that's another one. And then they had one come out. I didn't hate it. It was Dracula Untold or something that came out last 5-ish years or so.
What about Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Didn't watch it.
I did like that book.
I read the book, yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
I have one more thing I wanna mention about because I, tried to do a deep dive and I couldn't.
On
Um, on the 1979 Nosferatu movie,
Okay.
whenever she's running through, the square or whatever it is
Mm.
towards the end of the movie,
Yes.
and all of the people are, in holding hands and turning in a circle.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when they were
And I
dancing.
was like yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, is that, where the Ring Around the" I was trying to tie that to Ring Around the Rosie,
It probably was linked.
but I looked, I tried to search it, and
Mm.
I couldn't come up with any answer on that.
Because that nursery rhyme dance thing is fully centered around the plague.
I know that, yeah.
And they were undergoing a plague, and they were all like, "We're gonna die anyway, so we may as well party."
But speaking of flowers for the smell, that's why brides carry bouquets, right?
Why?
No.
Because the flowers would help with the smell.
Of what?
The bride.
The bride's stinky?
Back in the day, they don't take a bath every day.
Oh,
Oh,
that's true,
okay.
I'm sure, but you could probably get a bath in before your wedding, right?
You would think.
Wash your monkey Monday?
Ugh.
I was so confused there for a second, but now you mentioned that, I've heard that. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Anyway, all right. Well, that's it for our vampire episode.
Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed.
It
This
says
dive into
bouquets.
the Nosferatu trilogy and other vampires.
Bouquets were also used to mask body odor in a time before regular bathing, and the specific flowers chosen can carry additional symbolic meaning, is all it says.
There you go. And we're still doing it today.
That's the AI answer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Peace
Sorry
out.
for all my coughing. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.